Tell us about your design background.
I have recently completed my degree in graphic design and have had a few internships where I worked on various projects, including branding, print media, and web design. I've also been involved in freelance projects where I design logos, brochures, and websites.
How do you stay updated with design trends?
I follow design blogs, participate in design communities, and attend webinars and workshops. I also use platforms like Behance and Dribbble to see the latest work from other designers.
What design software are you proficient in?
I'm proficient in Adobe Creative Suite, including Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. I also have experience with Sketch and Figma for UI/UX design.
Can you walk us through your design process?
My process usually starts with research and gathering inspiration. I sketch out ideas, followed by creating wireframes. After that, I move to the design phase, iterate based on feedback, and finalize the design after refining it.
How do you handle feedback on your designs?
I take feedback constructively and see it as an opportunity to improve. I always ask clarifying questions to ensure I understand the vision and work towards making the necessary adjustments.
How do you prioritize tasks and manage deadlines?
I break down the tasks into smaller, manageable pieces and prioritize based on urgency and importance. I use project management tools like Trello or Asana to keep track of my deadlines.
What would you consider your strengths as a designer?
My creativity and attention to detail are my strengths. I'm also very adaptable, which helps me work across various design mediums and adjust quickly based on project requirements.
Tell us about a challenging design project you've worked on.
One of the challenging projects was creating a brand identity for a startup. The difficulty was that the client had a very abstract idea of their brand. I worked closely with them to understand their vision and created multiple mock-ups, which eventually led to a strong identity.
How do you handle tight deadlines?
I stay organized and focus on delivering high-quality work within the given time frame. If the timeline is particularly tight, I communicate early on and prioritize tasks to ensure I meet deadlines without compromising quality.
Can you explain a time when you disagree with a client or teammate?
I had a situation where a client requested changes that seemed to contradict the brand's identity. I calmly explained my reasoning and suggested alternatives that still met their needs. We worked collaboratively to reach a consensus.
What is your understanding of user-centered design?
User-centered design is about focusing on the needs and preferences of the end user while creating the design. It involves researching user behavior, testing designs, and making sure the design is intuitive and functional.
What's your approach to creating a brand identity?
I start with understanding the brand's core values and target audience. Then I develop a concept that visually reflects the brand's message, considering color schemes, typography, and logo design. I always ensure consistency across all materials.
How do you incorporate feedback into your design revisions?
I take notes on the feedback, assess which aspects need to be changed, and ask for clarification when needed. I then make revisions and present updated designs while explaining the changes made based on the feedback.
What is your experience with web design and responsive design?
I have experience designing websites using both Photoshop and Figma, making sure the designs are responsive and mobile-friendly. I ensure that the layout adapts well across different screen sizes and devices.
How do you handle creative blocks?
When facing a creative block, I take a short break and step away from the project. Sometimes changing the environment or getting inspiration from other sources helps to refresh my perspective.
What do you think makes a good design?
A good design is one that is both functional and visually appealing. It should communicate the message clearly, be aesthetically pleasing, and work well for the user.
What experience do you have with typography?
I have worked with various typography styles, choosing appropriate fonts for the brand's tone. I understand the importance of font pairing, spacing, and hierarchy to ensure readability and style.
Do you prefer working alone or in a team?
I enjoy both working independently and collaborating in a team. Working alone allows me to focus, while teamwork brings new perspectives and ideas that improve the final outcome.
How would you handle multiple design projects at once?
I would prioritize the projects based on deadlines and importance. I would break them down into smaller tasks and use tools like calendar scheduling to make sure I'm staying on track for each project.
What excites you about working in design?
What excites me about design is the ability to communicate ideas visually and the creative problem-solving aspect. I love seeing how a well-crafted design can make a real impact.